What's up, guys? It's Patrick here, and today I'm bringing you a really interesting top 5. So we've all played zombies before, we've all had fun with it, and sometimes it's nice to just go back and challenge yourselves, make it harder, more interesting, or whatever. Add some rules to the game that don't necessarily exist, and just do a fun little challenge, guys. So today, in this episode, we're going to be going over the top 5 challenges in Call of Duty Zombies. Guys, let's get into it. Coming in at number 5, we have a very competitive challenge. So normally in zombies, what you're trying to do is make it to a high round with your teammate, using strategy, all that kind of stuff. And this challenge takes that idea, that principle, and flips it on its head. What we have is the free-for-all or grudge match. So how this challenge works is 2 ways. Number 1 is basically what you're trying to do is compete against the other players. Now you could do it in teams of 2, so 2v2, a 1v1, or a 1v1v1v1, whatever. And basically how it works is you just want to be the last man standing. So if all other players go down, you basically win. The other way you can do it is based on a point system. So there's 3 different things. There's kills, points, and downs. And whoever either has 2 of the 3, so like most kills, most points, or least amount of downs, the winner who gets 2 or more of those wins. There's 2 different ways you can do it, kind of based on that system or just last man standing. I prefer the last man standing version, but there's different ways to do it. And this is a really interesting challenge. It just makes it so competitive. It changes the feel for zombies so much because you're used to having people to rely on. You got to rely on yourself in a way where you're trying to make the other people go down. Now, yes, there is this thing called grief mode, which I'm sure you all know, you're all familiar with, but I don't know. There's something about grief that just feels different than normal zombies, and doing this challenge is something that takes that feel of grief, but I think really makes it better. Coming in at number 4, we have the no purchase challenge, which is actually something I came up with on my own a little bit ago. Now, this challenge can be done on Buried, Origins, Mob of the Dead, and Die Rise in Transit a little bit. So how this challenge basically works is it's pretty self-explanatory. You're not allowed to buy anything. Now, there is obviously one huge exception to that, and that is you're allowed to buy doors. As you couldn't do that, it would make this challenge pretty stupid. But basically how it works is you have to rely on the free things around the map. So like dig sites, the free Blundergat, the Hell's Retriever, buildables, the fridge on Buried and the other maps that have that. Things like that you basically have to rely on. Free perks, all that kind of stuff, to get to the high round. So you have to really rely on a very limited number of things. Almost always you don't have perks or very many perks. You very rarely have a good gun either. So makes for a really interesting challenge that I have had a lot of fun with. It's really interesting to do it on the different maps. Like Mob of the Dead, basically all you get is like a Blundergat, a shield, and like your tomahawk. Origins, you get like a staff and a shield. Buried's a really hard one, but this challenge is one that I always have a ton of fun with, and I think if you guys haven't tried it out yet, you definitely really enjoy it. Moving in at number 3, we have the Box Roulette challenge. Now, how this challenge works is really quite basic, but awesome. Basically, you have till round 5 to set up, and at the end of round 5, you have to go to the box, and whatever gun you get, you have to take to use for round 6. You have to survive, obviously. After the end of round 6, you hit the box again, you take it, that's what you have to use for round 7, and on and on and on until you die. What makes this challenge awesome is just the randomness to it. Sometimes you'll start with a ray gun, and then the next round you get like, a RPG, and round 30 you'll get something terrible, and it's just so funny to see you try to survive with something that's just awful. But what I love about it is just that randomness factor to it. You never have the same gun, so it's always just different, always switching things up, which makes for just the reason why I like challenges. It makes things different. It makes it less mundane and all that stuff. So it's a pretty basic challenge, but to me, it's always been one that I've had a lot of fun with since I figured it out, and a lot of people have enjoyed it on my channel. Moving down to our number 2 spot, we have the most viewed challenge on my channel in history, and it is the Rainbow Perk Challenge on Origins. So this challenge is one that can be characterized by being very difficult, very tedious, and a whole lot of fun. How this challenge works is basically really straightforward. You have 8 perks on Origins, and you have to use the red dig sites to get free perk bottles and essentially get the perks in order. So it goes from red, which is jug, to orange, which is double tap, to yellow, stamina up, green, speed cola, dark green, meal kick, light blue, quick revive, dark blue, electric cherry, and then purple, PhD. Now, reminder, there is no Deadshot Daiquiri because that's black, obviously not a color of the rainbow. But basically, how the challenge works is you have any way you want to. So there's no restrictions. The only restriction is the order of the perks that you have to get. Now, when I did this challenge, I didn't even realize that was a thing. I completely forgot that in my challenge. But basically, you just have to get the perks in the order. So like get red first, then double tap, which makes it a little bit hard because you don't have quick revive till quite late into the game. But it is just a phenomenal challenge that is. So many people have been inspired to do it from the challenge I did on my channel. Really fun, really just changed Origins for me. It's just such a great idea to do. I had a great time with it. I know a lot of others who have. So guys, the Rainbow Perk Challenge is one that I think is going to be very famous for a long time. And it comes in at number 2. And coming in at number 1 on our list of top 5 challenges, guys, it's not basic, it's not complicated, it's probably one of the most simple challenges out there. It is the 2-box challenge. Now, why I picked the 2-box challenge to be the number 1 spot on this list was pretty simple. There's all these crazy things out there, like the rainbow and all this, crazy things that YouTubers have been getting into. At the end of the day, though, the 2-box challenge is basic. All it is, you hit the box twice, you have to take those 2 guns. You're allowed to use any perks you want, anything else on the map. You just have to use those 2 guns for the challenge. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's simple, but there is so many possibilities. You can get the HK-12, I believe it's called, as you see here, and the Thunder Gun, or the HK-12 and the Ray Gun, or HK-12 and the FAMAS, or the FAMAS and the China Lake, and the FAMAS. There's so many, just thousands of possibilities you could do. You never ever run out of just different challenges, and you can play the same map, you still always get a different experience, which is why this challenge is so nice. It's basic, it's not hard to do, but it always makes for a fun time, and I think that at the end of the day is what Zombie's all about, and really that's why I put it on this challenge, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. Number 5, we had here, let me get my list out. We had the free-for-all challenge. Number 4, we had the no purchase. At number 3, we had the box roulette. Number 2, the good old rainbow perk challenge, and coming in at number 1 was the 2-box, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful day. Leave a like, that'd be great. Check out my Patreon page, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.